7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The ongoing pursuit of locations for new City Hall, police, and fire buildings is getting closer to a resolution. That's according to City Administrator Tony Harris and Mayor Helen Michalossi of Clinton. Harris says the city is in its early stages, but they have made significant progress in identifying suitable land.
I think we can't say a whole lot because, again, we're still in the early stages of it. But I'm comfortable saying that I think we've found location for all three.
I would agree with that. I think we have, and now it's a matter of talking to the people that own it, or if the city owns it, what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also talking to the folks at fire and police again to review what they need in a facility, because we did that before. This can has been kicked down the road. A fireman told me at the expo this year when I talked to him, he said, I joined the force the fire department 32 years ago, and they told me then we were going to get a new building.
Yeah.
So I can just assure you that we're done kicking the can down the road, and I think we have three places.
Okay.
I think we found it.
Harris and the mayor have evaluated multiple potential locations, but some were deemed financially unfeasible as the project scope became clearer.
When we say three places, one place could accommodate two of them. But again, we're still looking at that. We're still looking at that. We still have a lot of homework to do. We're confident on these locations, but that's really all we can say right now because there's been a lot of work that's went into this. The mayor and we've been working on this since she took office, and I'd only been here for a few months, and there's a lot of work that's went into this, and we have identified other locations as well, but we had to look into it. We had to get engineers involved. Well, will this work? Will this structure work? No, you have to tear it down. So but some of those locations, by the time we tore the building down and purchased the land, it was just too much. We couldn't afford it. We had a long conversation with Clint, our treasurer, and he gave us numbers. He said, this is where you got to be. And we know what those numbers are. Now we just got to make those numbers work. And that's going to be a challenge. I'm here to say that's why we're talking, like she mentioned, we're talking to police and fire. We know the number. They have to know the number as well. And we have to work together to make, we want to get everything that they need. And then we can build on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. While the city continues these evaluations, officials are exploring options that prioritize structural longevity and efficient land use. According to Harris, the objective is to avoid leaving any acquired property unoccupied, with a strong preference for repurposing existing structures rather than demolition.
Well, there's been some early discussions on that too, and we haven't even approached council yet on that aspect of it. But there's been some preliminary discussions, and we do have some different ideas. But it won't be a building that's just going to sit unoccupied. I can tell you that.
Right, and I can tell you it's not going to come down.
Okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and again, 1 of 5 votes, right? I can tell you I'm never going to say that building comes down.
Okay.
We will repurpose that into a useful purpose, and it can't sit empty.
I think I can confident. My opinion would be work with a developer to develop that into something. How if we sell it or whatever, but again, it's not going to be torn down. It's not going to sit unoccupied. We will start speaking with different developers and ask them what's your idea here. If you could get this building, what would you like?
Preserve the building.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of things we got to think about. When we talk about that parking, parking's a big challenge up there around the square. So, if we decide we're going to sell the building, we need to know what's going to go in there so we can accommodate the parking. So that's being discussed.
It was nearly 2 years ago that this was made a priority by then City Administrator Taylor Baxter, a priority also a part of the city's updated strategic plan. The McLean County Farm Bureau is announcing a significant investment for the McLean County Fairgrounds, located on the west side of Bloomington. $1 million will be a big help, says McLean County Fair and Events Manager Katie Rader.
We had HVAC put in our mini expo building to help with the air conditioning. That's already been completed. Concrete work is in the works around some of the buildings that needs done in the parking lots. Weather's obviously a big part into that. So they're hoping in May that stuff can get done. The electricians are going to start on some of their work they're doing. We're hoping, by the fair, all the buildings or all the barns have 3 large fans in them up in the ceilings, rafters. That'll help with the livestock and the attendees of the buildings. That should be done. And then if we're fortunate enough, we may have a couple other things we can get done with everything. But of course, timing all those projects and then the weather being a big factor on a lot of these things. Those are what we're hoping for to get done this year. And we did already get our pins that we're testing out this year for some of the livestock in.
Reader says a McLean County Fair fanfare will be held on May 30th to showcase the updates. The McLean County Fair is July 29th to August 2nd. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month. And get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
From the Heart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Illinois dropped its series finale to number 20 Nebraska 3-0 on Sunday afternoon at Illinois Field. Nebraska got on the board first, plating a run in the top of the second. They added another in the 7th and their third in the 9th to seal the shutout win. Aiden Flynn recorded a quality start on the mound, going 6 innings and allowing just 1 run and 4 strikeouts. Michael Farina extended his hitting streak to 7 games, going 2 for 4 at the plate. He has reached in 11 consecutive games and leads the Illini with 17 multi-hit games. Kyle Shupman went 1 for 4 and has reached in the last 9 games. The Fighting Illini fall to an even 21-21 and 9-12 in the Big Ten. They return to action with the midweek matchup on Tuesday against Bradley before playing a 3-game road series at Iowa next weekend. The Illinois State baseball program claimed the series sweep over Bradley with an 8-5 victory over the Braves Sunday afternoon at Duffy Bass Field. The Redbirds improved to 26-17 in 2026 and moved to 9-9 in the Missouri Valley Conference play. Illinois State rallied from a 4-run deficit to capture the Redbirds' first sweep over the Braves since 2013. The comeback marked the largest comeback victory for Illinois State this season. Bradley jumped out to an early lead, plating 4 runs for the first 3 innings to take a 4-0 advantage. Despite the deficit, the Redbirds' offense sparked in the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan Bakes doubled to left, putting a runner in scoring position for the Redbirds in the frame. Moments later, his twin brother, Braden Bakes, followed with a double of his own to plate Illinois State's first run of the contest and make it 4-1. With the bases loaded, sophomore Eric Machej delivered with a sac fly to score Carano Jr., and then the Redbirds capitalized on a wild pitch to add another run in the frame and cut the lead to 4-3. As the Redbirds continued to build momentum, Braden Bakes delivered a solo shot to open the 5th inning and even the score at 4-4. Carano Jr. catapulted Illinois State to the lead with an RBI single. The Redbirds added another run in the 5th as Machej singled to score Carano Jr. and give Illinois State a 6-4 advantage. Despite the Redbirds' momentum, Bradley responded in the 6th as they looked to rally after loading the bases with a pair of hit-by pitches and a walk. With the bases loaded, the Braves capitalized on a wild pitch to pull a runner back and make the score 6-5 in the sixth. In the home half, the Redbirds responded as Braden Bakes doubled to left field for his third extra base hit of the afternoon to score Ryan Bakes and extend Illinois State's advantage to 7-5. With the lead extended to 2, Illinois State grew its lead once more in the seventh as Outlaw tallied an RBI single to score Karchewski after the Joliet native opened the inning with a leadoff triple. With an 8-5 lead, junior Jacob Culp and Reese Clapp tallied back-to-back scoreless innings to secure the series sweep for Illinois State. C.J. Abrams, sac fly, scored automatic runner Dylan Lyle from third in the 10th inning, and pinch hitter Jose Tena followed with a solo homer, and the Washington Nationals beat the Chicago White Sox 2-1 on Sunday for their second straight extra innings win.
A second straight day of bonus baseball on the South Side as the White Sox and Nationals went to extras Sunday afternoon after Sean Burke and Foster Griffin matched each other pitch for pitch in a pitcher's duel that remained scoreless through 9. Burke gave the Sox a career-high 7 1/3 innings of spotless baseball.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Called strike 3. 2 and line back to the pitcher, knocked down by Burke, and he'll underhand it to Murakami for the out.
Both teams pushed across their Manfred man in extras, but Jose Tena's tack-on homer proved to be the difference in a 2-1 final. White Sox open a 3-game series against the Angels Monday night. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 6 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The White Sox are back in action on WHOW on Tuesday when they play the second of a 3-game series against the Los Angeles Angels. Pregame begins at 6 p.m. Rob Refsnyder successfully challenged a third strike and then hit a go-ahead solo home run in the 9th inning to lift the Seattle Mariners to a 3-2 win against the St. Louis Cardinals on Sunday. Refsnyder was initially called out by plate umpire John Bacon on an 0-2 pitch that the replay showed was outside. After 2 more balls, he hit a 412-foot blast into the left field bullpen off Jojo Romero to give the Mariners their first lead. Jose Ferrer retired the Cardinals in order in the 9th for his first save of the season. Each team successfully challenged for ball strike calls by Bacon during the game, during Mariners plate appearances, before J.J. Witherholt had an unsuccessful bid in the 9th. During J.P. Crawford's 8th inning plate appearance, each team had a successful challenge. Crawford had a strike overturned in the early in the at-bat, and then had a ball 4 changed to a third strike on a challenge by catcher Ivan Herrera. Herrera also secured a strikeout against Randy Arozarena in the 2nd inning with a challenge. Eduardo Bizardo got 4 outs in relief to record the victory. Witherholt led off the 3rd inning with a line drive that traveled 375 feet into the right field bullpen for the rookie's 5th homer. Cal Raleigh answered in the 4th with a 401-footer that also landed in the Cardinals bullpen. Nathan Church added a 407-foot home run down the right field line to put in the 6th to put St. Louis up 2-1. Emerson Hancock gave up 7 hits, including the Cardinals' 2 solo homers in 6 innings for Seattle. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Michael McGreevy allowed 1 run and 5 hits in 6 innings while striking out 6 and walking none. St. Louis right-hander Dustin May takes the mound on Monday against Pittsburgh. The Pirates have not announced their starter. Justin Robolski tossed 6 scoreless innings to become the first Los Angeles Dodger pitcher since 2009 to win his first 4 starts. And LA defeated the Chicago Cubs 6-0 on Sunday in the series finale. Robolski allowed 4 hits, struck out 6, and walked a season-high 4 on a career-high 109 pitches while facing the Cubs for the first time in his career. The left-hander matched Chad Billingsley, who won his first 4 starts 17 years ago. Robolski and Cubs starter Shoto Imanaga both struggled with command and control early. They threw a combined 100 pitches through the first 2 innings. Shohei Ohtani hit An opposite field home run on Hobie Milner's first pitch in the seventh, extending the Dodgers' lead to 6-0. The 382-foot shot to left center cut against a gusty wind and snapped Ohtani's 12-game homerless streak. He was 3 for 4 with a walk and scored twice. The Dodgers led 5-0 in the sixth. Dalton Rushing had an RBI single, and Kyle Tucker walked and scored on a pickoff error by catcher Carson Kelly after Santiago Espinal whiffed on a bunt. The Dodgers pitched around a lot of traffic, with the Cubs getting leadoff runners on in the 6 of 9 innings. Chicago was 0 for 20 with base runners on and left 12 stranded, a season high on the road. The Dodgers led 3-0 in the first. Ohtani walked, stole second, and took third on Kelly's initial throwing error and scored on Andy Pages' sacrifice fly. Miguel Rojas added a 2-run double with 2 outs. Robolski pitched out of a bases-loaded jam in the second. Michael Busch doubled, and with 1 out, Robolski issued back-to-back walks to load the bases for Nico Horner, who struck out. Alex Bregman grounded out to shortstop to end the threat. Imanaga gave up 5 runs and 6 hits in 5 1/3 innings. The left-hander struck out 6 and walked 3. He continued his dominance of Freddie Freeman, who has 1 hit in 12 at-bats with 5 strikeouts. Cubs lefty Matthew Boyd starts Monday's series opener in San Diego against Padres right-hander Randy Vasquez. It's a good thing the Chicago Bears coach Ben Johnson is regarded as one of the NFL's elite offensive minds. It's possible his team could need to put up 30 or more points a game to match last season's win output after the Bears went through the draft and virtually ignored one of the team's greatest perceived weaknesses. The Bears failed to draft a defensive end, and the only defensive lineman they took was South African Jordan Vanderberg of Georgia Tech in the 6th round. That came after the defense finished 27th and 28th last 2 years against the run and had only 35 sacks last year. General Manager Ryan Poles said drafting late in rounds made trading up to find an edge rusher difficult, especially in the 2nd round. At least they came away with a potential starting safety in the 1st round. Oregon's Dylan Thieneman could play alongside Kobe Bryant. That was it on defense until the Bears took Texas cornerback Malik Muhammad in the 4th round. In the 5th, it was the defense again with Arizona State linebacker Keyshawn Elliott. The Bears didn't pick a defensive player on Friday. Poles drafted Iowa center Logan Jones in the 2nd round, and in the 3rd, he took Stanford tight end Sam Roosh and LSU wide receiver Xavier Thomas. If Chicago must rely on offense for wins, Johnson can try to make use of Thomas's 4.28 second speed for the 40-yard dash, or 3 tight end sets with Roosh joining Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. The Bears traded their 2nd round pick, the number 60 overall, to Tennessee for picks in the 3rd and 5th rounds. They swapped 4th and 5th round picks with Arizona and then traded both 7th round picks to Buffalo for a 6th rounder. Green Bay's confidence in its returning players was evident from the way the Packers approached this week's draft. With virtually all their starting positions already settled, the Packers made just 6 draft selections to match their lowest total in franchise history. It represented a major contrast for general manager Brian Gutekunst, who had averaged 10 picks over his previous 8 drafts. The Packers focused on adding defensive depth to help new coordinator Jonathan Gannon. Green Bay selected South Carolina cornerback Brandon Siss in the 2nd round, Missouri defensive tackle Chris McClellan in the 3rd, and Penn State edge rusher Danny Dennis Sutton in the 4th, and Alabama cornerback Damani Jackson in the 5th. Green Bay traded its 2026 and 27 first-round picks to Dallas late August as a part of the package to acquire all-pro pass rusher Micah Parsons. The Packers also sent a 5th-round pick to Tampa Bay to move up 7 spots in the 2nd round and take McClellan. They traded their 2 7th-round picks to Seattle for a 6th-round selection, but they used on Florida kicker Trey Smack. Smack was the only kicker drafted. He will compete with incumbent Brandon McManus, who signed a 3-year, $15.3 million contract last year. McManus missed 2 field goals and an extra point attempt in Green Bay's 31-27 wildcard playoff loss at Chicago. Green Bay also has Lucas Havaris, who went 4 for 4 on field goal attempts while filling in for an injured McManus last season. Smack made 82.8% of his field goal attempts at Florida and went 10 for 13 from at least 50 yards. The selection of Dennis Sutton had the apparent approval of Parsons, who also starred at Penn State. Dennis Sutton said he spoke with his new teammate a couple of times when Parsons visited Penn State's campus. Dennis Sutton had 23.5 sacks at Penn State, including 8.5 each of the past 2 years. Packers Director of Player Personnel, John Wojciechowski, said he didn't expect Dennis Sutton to remain available in the 4th round. In MLB scores from Sunday, the Boston Red Sox beat the Baltimore Orioles 5-3, while the Atlanta Braves took down the Philadelphia Phillies 6-2. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Cleveland Guardians 4-2, and the Colorado Rockies took down the New York Mets 3-1. The Detroit Tigers beat the Cincinnati Reds 8-3, while the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Minnesota Twins 4-2. The Houston Astros beat the New York Yankees 7-4, while the Milwaukee Brewers shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-0. The Athletics beat the Texas Rangers 2-1, and the San Francisco Giants beat the Miami Marlins 6-3. The Arizona Diamondbacks took down the San Diego Padres 12-7, while the Kansas City Royals beat the LA Angels 11-9 in 10 innings, and the Colorado Rockies beat the New York Mets 3-0. In NBA playoff scores from yesterday, the 5th-seeded Toronto Raptors beat 4th-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers 93-89, while the 2-seed San Antonio Spurs took down the 7th-seeded Portland Trailblazers 114-93. 2nd-seeded Boston Celtics routed the 7th-seed Philadelphia 76ers 128-96, while the 5th-seeded Houston Rockets beat the 4th-seeded LA Lakers 115-96. In NHL playoff scores from Sunday, the Buffalo Sabres beat the Boston Bruins 6-1. The Colorado Avalanche beat the LA Kings 5-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning took down the Montreal Canadiens 3-2, and the Anaheim Ducks beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 in overtime. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL Sports Wire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Paul Scourin here, CEO of Warner Hospital. Spring allergies acting up? At Warner Hospital and Health Services, we offer fast treatment to help you breathe easier and feel better fast. Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
For SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. He was a troubled man who made his intentions known. That's President Trump's take on the 31-year-old suspect in Saturday night shooting outside the White House Correspondents' Center in Washington, D.C. Cole Allen scheduled to make his first court appearance later today. The Virginia Supreme Court is considering whether to block new U.S. House districts narrowly approved by the voters. The court will be hearing arguments on that later today. Tornadoes, part of a powerful storm that hammered North Texas last night, left 2 people dead as well as massive amounts of property damage. Numerous homes heavily damaged or demolished in the town of Runaway Bay. Parts of Oklahoma were also hit by the storms. One of the 2 largest wildfires in southeast Georgia continues to grow, now exceeding 31 square miles. The Dow futures down 38 points. This is SRN News.
If you're hearing my voice, chances are you're either worried about a parent living alone or you are that parent. And you know your family worries about you too. Either way, there's a company that finally got senior safety right. Connected Caregiver. Connected Caregiver is everything you knew about alert devices, fall detection, emergency button, GPS, reimagined for today. There's a small wearable that alerts your family's phone the moment something happens. Inside your home, discrete sensors, no cameras, no microphones, just motion sensors have you covered even when you're not wearing it. No movement for hours, your loved ones will know. For the kids, You go from hoping everything's okay to knowing it is. And for you, you stay in your home on your terms while giving your precious family the peace of mind they've been asking for. That's not losing independence, that's keeping it. Visit ccgoffer.com to see if you qualify for a free device. It takes 2 minutes. That's ccgoffer.com, ccgoffer.com. Do it today.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and thewhitdailynews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. Twice a year, the Friends of the Warner Library help clean the shelves out by making room for new books, all while raising money for the library. Ron Sprague with the Friends explains that the biannual book sale is returning this Friday and Saturday. It's a great opportunity to fill out your classroom or at-home library with books at a discounted price.
Twice a year. This year it will be Friday and Saturday, which is normal. May 1st and May 2nd. Friday will be from 9 in the morning till 6 at night. We've extended the afternoon evening a little bit because we do a deal for educators. And you know, they get a special deal. A buck a bag. Now, we supply the bags. No more big construction bags. They're all going to be the same size. But we supply the bag, and we had feedback, hey, we're a teacher, but how can we get there if you're shutting the doors early? So we're staying open further on Friday. And then Saturday is 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. And there, everybody can get a buck a bag. Teachers get 2 bags for a buck. We get donations from, a lot of it is when you know, grandma passes on, what do we do with all of her books? A lot of it is kids. I mean, how many times can you read Green Eggs and Ham? And interestingly enough, last time we didn't have many young adult books, which I've got a relative who's a teacher in Maroa, and she shows up on Friday, and she's probably one of the ones with the big bags because she uses the books for her reading classes. People don't realize teachers buy these books out of their own pockets. So we try to do them favors. And even if you're a home educator, buck a bag.
The funds from the book sale are gathered by the Friends, and Sprague emphasizes that what the money is used on is entirely up to the library staff and leadership. Emily Dunham, adult program coordinator at the library, says much of it goes towards their summer reading program. If you're interested in donating books for this weekend's book sale, you can drop them off at the Warner Library located at 310 North Quincy Street in Clinton. Dunham asks that if you do have a large amount of books, that you call ahead to the library first so they can be available with some help to unload the books from your vehicle. Learn more about the book sale by visiting vwarner.org or by finding the Friends of the Warner Library on Facebook. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Sheets with your regional radio forecast. Severe thunderstorms likely today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 73. Winds out of the south, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight. Severe thunderstorms likely, lows of the month around 50. Mainly cloudy skies tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 64. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Right now, it's 61 degrees.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange. If you're mower or any equipment service pros just south of Clinton, click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
Looking for a provider who puts your health first? SIU Family Medicine is accepting new patients. Our care teams are here to keep you healthy, whether you're managing a chronic condition or staying on top of preventative care. With expert physicians and compassionate care, we're here to help you take the next step in your health. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your first appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine. For you.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 50. King 20 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, hear a best of Clinton Sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by the Clinton Sports Boosters, Clinton Community YMCA, and our exclusive sponsor of Timeouts, Connexus Fiber Internet.
Now you can listen to WHOW on any Amazon Alexa-enabled device. There are 3 easy steps. Step 1, download the free Alexa app by going to the App Store on your mobile device. Step 2, enable our skill by going to the menu, select skills, then find WHOW, open the skill.
Step 3, activate the skill by saying, Alexa, play WHOW radio.
That's all there is to it.
And to stop the WHOW stream, just say, Alexa, stop.
WHOW now on the Amazon Alexa app.
You're listening to a best of segment of the WHOW Morning Show, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Beacon Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, this is a best of the WHOW Morning Show. Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Beacon Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Karen Clevenger. She is the DeWitt County Syncom coordinator. And Karen, good to see you this morning. Did we get the train last night over here? I woke up and it was a little wet, but I don't remember it raining. So, yeah. Okay. Evidently it did. You know, we've been fortunate. We've skipped on these storms that have come through lately. So everything's gone north or south of us. So I get that sometimes here. So very good. Well, I know it's a special week for you and the staff there in the CENTCOM office. What's going on?
It is Public Safety Telecommunications Week. So all across the nation, everybody is celebrating 911 dispatchers and all the technicians that go in to help all of the dispatchers get their job done. So it's been exciting. So last night, Kenny Fire Department bought the dispatcher some Sorrentos for dinner.
Okay.
And we've gotten some special baked treats from staff and companies that we contact if we need any air medical transport. So yeah, it's been great. And it's done nationwide. So they're celebrating at all of the 911 centers this week. And so I want to say thank you to all of CENTCOM dispatchers and then all of Piatt County dispatchers, because Piatt County is our backup center.
Right.
So we couldn't do our job if it wasn't for them, because they back us up in times when we're busy or in times where our technology goes down. So we couldn't do it without them.
Technology never goes down.
No,
It always.
we just plan it if it goes down.
Sure. It's so reliable. No, very good. Yeah, so special week, and you know, telecommunicators are often kind of they are the unseen folks in an emergency situation.
They
So
are, but throughout the years, their role has become more and more important, and that leads us to the state of Illinois has said that emergency medical dispatchers, so 911 dispatchers that are certified by the state to ask medical questions, are a first responder of a medical emergency. And so we start that continuum of care. So we're kind of, the medical professional that you're going to be talking to and asking questions and talking about the